Hey guys, here's another review. This time I'll be reviewing the Shinkalion E8 Tsubasa drone form from Shinkalion Change the World. This is an E8 series Shinkansen that can transform into a robot, along with a support vehicle it can combine with. Included in the set are the Shinkalion E8 Tsubasa, air the drone, and a set of combination parts. So, let's get started. First up, we'll take a look at the E8 Tsubasa in trained form. So, this is an E8 series Shinkansen operating on the JR East Tsubasa service and running on JR East's Tohoku line, going from Tokyo to Shin Aomori, and the Yamagata line going from Fukushima to Shinjo. Color scheme here is that it has a deep purple on top, one on the bottom, and that's separated by a yellow-orange stripe going all around. Now, in regards to there's also something I want to touch on with this, which is kind of in response to a comment I got on a previous review, which is someone wondering why the E-series Shinkansen that are made into Shinkalion start from the E5 series and not anything prior. And to kind of explain that, that's basically because, or at least what I feel like it's because, is because of how Shinkalion as a series is made in cooperation with Japan Railways. So I'd imagine that they are basically kind of having a goal of trying to use it to promote more contemporary and in-service trains, and honestly, I think there's no further example of it than the E8 Tsubasa, because the E8 series first started operating as recently as 2024, the same year that Shinkalion Changed the World started airing. And in fact, this is not the first time that a Tsubasa service train has been used in Shinkalion, but the previous time it was the E3 Tsubasa in Season 1, because essentially, in regards to the E1 to E4 series Shinkansen, they are either completely out of service, as is the case with the E1 and E4 series, or are basically being phased out and replaced by newer trains, which is the case with the E2 and E3 series. And even then, you can kind of see that, looking at the design, this is clearly something that is based on the design of the E6 series. So it's not an entirely linear evolution of these trains, as they do take cues from their predecessors, but they don't, go completely in order. They essentially evolve as they need to. Also included, of course, are the combination parts, which are also done up in a nice deep purple color. Of course, those can plug right onto the back. And like all of these Shinkalion, the wheels roll quite well, so they can operate on plow rail tracks. Next, we'll look at the Erda drone. Now, this is a bit of a departure from the previous Erda vehicles we looked at, which, could all in general be seen as things that would be used to kind of support rail lines or Shinkansen. In the case of this one, this is, essentially a military attack drone. See, it's got very nice light blue color with clear yellow parts. You can see the quad rotors, as well as fins attached to each of them. So a nice silver for the body, but then in the center of it, you can see it does have this gun with the barrel sticking out at the front. You also have some boosters in the back, which are jump-in stickers. Got the bomb side with what look kind of like ventilation. And this doesn't really do too much on its own. But of course, this will be used for a vehicle combination later. After that, we can get into the transformation. So as usual, I've pre-prepped the arms and legs, so we can just focus on the torso. So we're going to come to here, lift up the canopy. See, it should be a bit easier from this side. I'm going to collapse it forward. Take this panel and lift it up. And rotate up the head. Close the canopy back down. And rotate forward and lift up the horn. Move out the legs a bit. And attach the legs. And the arms. And here we have Shinkalion E8 Tsubasa. So let's take a look. Starting with the head. Once again, it does carry the color scheme of the train mode, with a nice purple color up top. You've got this visor piece done up in a kind of orangey gold, or even a bronze, if you will. Some nice black vents, got the eyes there. And then the rest of it is a nice white color representing the bottom of the train. Of course, it has the chest piece, which is a well-compressed version of the front of the train. Shoulder pads. You have the body, which is done in a very, very dark purple color compared to the paint used for the train, which I would say actually makes the details up here stand out a lot more since they are a somewhat brighter color. You have the stickers for the torso, the arms, and inside of the legs, which have their own unique pattern. And of course, it has all the same articulation of a standard Shinkalion. So, with that, you can then take a look at the vehicle combination. Now, let's combine Shinkalion E8 Tsubasa with the air to drone. So, start we'll of course need to dismantle the air to drone itself. So, we're going to take these pieces off the side. Take this piece off the top. Separate these from here. Take off these black and silver pieces. And separate this piece from the gun. Next we're going to take the rotors and flipping around so that the fin faces backwards. I'll put them in these lower diagonal holes below the upper rotors. Do the same on the other side. So now we should be ready to combine. So going from the bottom up, first we'll take the feet and place them into these shoe pieces. Right there and there. We'll take these and we're going to place them on the knees. Take this and place it on the waist. We're going to take this and using this hole, we're going to connect it to the peg on the back. We'll equip the gun. It's the right hand. And we'll briefly bring in the combination parts so we can take off the shield. Attach that to the left arm. And here we have Shinkalion E8 Tsubasa drone form. So let's take a closer look. So with this, a lot of the added detail is of course here in the back, where it's equipped with the drone wings. And so that's, another place where having these boosters does kind of add to the effect. Although one thing I think is a bit of a shame is the fact that you have the downward facing pieces going like this and then these out to the side. So if you're looking at it from the front, you don't really see those details very much. But if you wanted to, as an alternative, or have them a bit more upwards, you can absolutely, get a bit creative and do something like taking the whole booster pack and flipping it upwards. So so that you have them going above the head, but obviously the official combination has it going downwards. Then it's also equipped with the Hornet rifle. The pretty futuristic kind of laser rifle. See a lot of nice detail, including a scope. And the detail I like the most is that it actually has a clear plastic piece in there, so that it kind of has the look of a sort of energy chamber going on. You also have the waist pieces. This is the first combination to actually give knee pads to one of the combinations, and then you also have the grip claws here at the bottom. It's kind of interesting to see these sort of clawed feet, although in a sense the base feet do kind of look like they have claws as is. It's definitely pretty cool to get a sort of aerial combination when basically every other combination we've looked at so far has been land-based. Of course, having the same structure as the other Shinkalions, E8 Tsubasa can give its aerial vehicle to other Shinkalions and combine itself with other aerial vehicles. So as a bit of a change-up, in this case, for examples, we have Shinkalion E8 Tsubasa top lifter form and Phantom Shinkalion drone form. So with these, I can definitely say that purple and yellow is a pretty good color combination. That does add something there, and it definitely is pretty standard to have two bright colors like the green and light blue on something like Phantom Shinkalion, and it'd definitely be pretty dangerous in the air. So these are definitely a couple of interesting combinations you can make, among others. And finally, we can combine Shinkalion E8 Tsubasa with two other Shinkalion to form Shinkalion SRG. In this case, I have combined it with Shinkalion E6 Komachi and Shinkalion E7 Kagayaki to form Shinkalion SRG E8 E6 E7. And despite all the combinations, or potential combinations I've shown this far, this is actually only the second one that's ever been used in the show, behind the main one, which is Shinkalion SRG E5 E6 E7. In addition, we can also give it a special weapon using the air drone. So in this case, we're going to flip around the booster and swap around two of the wings so that the fins are facing backwards. I'm going to take the Hornet rifle and we're going to come back to this piece and pull it out of the main body. So you have this piece, which is kind of like an arrow. I'm going to plug it into this hole right here to create the weapon. Then for SRG, we're going to take off the fist from the right hand, fold back this panel to give it clearance. Then using these two pegs, we're going to plug it into the two holes that the fist originally went into. So now it's equipped with kind of a laser crossbow weapon of sorts, which I'd say is a pretty cool looking weapon. And there we go. Overall, I'd say the E8 Tsubasa drone form is the Shinkalion that best represents the theme of evolution that is present within the series. Both for how it's the first ever Shinkalion to use a successor to a legacy crane, and thus a legacy Shinkalion, but also for how we kind of get an evolution in what the Shinkalion can do, since this is the first of the ones in the series to be able to gain flight. And of course, it still has all the same great features that are present within the line, such as the various different vehicle combinations, along with the SRG combinations. So if you're a fan of what you see, I can definitely recommend picking this one up. Next time, I'll be reviewing the Shinkalion N700S Kamoe Fairy form. So, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, let me know your thoughts down in the comments, and if you're new and would like to see more, please subscribe and hit the bell icon. And for now, this is K50, writing off.